E ngā waka kua eke mai nei ngā hauewha, tēnā koutou katoa. My name is Tikanga Rob, e kaiarahi o te rōpū parakore. We are a kaupapa Māori zero waste organisation that is focused on supporting marae, kura, kohanga, whare wānanga, offices and organisations to minimise waste, informed and guided by our whakapapa, principles and values. In this video, I'll be sharing about some of those principles and values, how they relate to our daily lives, and in particular, how it relates to zero waste. It's also really important to be aware that there are differences in interpretations of these values and principles. And as values and principles, they are determined and informed by the environment around us. Whakapapa is really important to helping us understand our identity and our relationship to everything around us. For many, our creation stories include Ranginui and Papa Tuanuku and their separation. Now some say that it was Tāne who lay on his back and put his feet on the chest of his father, Ranginui, and pushed skywards to create Te Ao Marama, the world of light that we live in. As their children went out and about into the world and started creating everything that we see around us, they then came to creating the first person. And that first person is said to be Hine Ahuone. Hine, who came from, or who grew from, the soil or the clay. Now it's through her that we, the people of this earth, have a connection to our atua, and thus we have a connection to everything else that they created. So while we have fantastic stories, beautiful and poetic, of our relationships to tarata, to kawakawa, to magnificent rākau, to tohora, to whales, we also share that same whakapapa with light bulbs, with clothing, with the steel in my boots. Because all the atua made all these things. So if we have a relationship to the rākau, we have the same relationship to a park bench. Mauri. In essence, you can consider that Mauri is like the life force of something. And everything has a life force around us. This blackbird just off my camera has a life force of its own. This awa behind me has its own Mauri. These rākau have their own Mauri. And collectively, there's a Mauri of the ngahere, of the forest. Now, Mauri shifts and flows. It can also be enhanced and it can also be degraded. So understanding what we do in this world helps to inform us about the Mauri of each space, of each place, of each being, of each of the things that are around us. Taonga tuku iho. Taonga is sometimes referred to as a precious treasure, but it's not just entirely a treasure in the sense of possession and ownership. There's something much deeper than that. One interpretation I've been taught is that a taonga is something so precious you would raise your spear, your tau, to protect with your life. Tuku iho is intergenerational, so something that you would pass on or hand over or hand down. So a taonga tuku iho could be something like a precious kete that has been within your whānau for hundreds of years. But it can also be language and knowledge, something that is passed on intergenerationally, an inherited taonga, something that you would protect and look after in order to continue to protect and look after for future generations. Kaitiakitanga can be considered the enactment of behaviours and actions that protect, care for, restore and replenish. An example of this can be planting trees next to a waterway. By planting the trees next to the waterway, you improve, you enhance the mauri of the ngahere around you and the waterway itself. It also protects that awa to ensure that it will continue to be a taonga tuku iho. Rangatiratanga. Complex in many ways, but at its essence, it's about self-determination. Making decisions and being accountable to your whānau, your iwi and your hapu. So an example of rangatiratanga in zero waste would be to plant a garden. By planting the garden, you harvest the seeds, you grow the kai, you eat the kai, you return the compost back to the whenua. You are suddenly no longer dependent on stores to have supplies, and by default, you are then no longer part of the waste cycle. Kotahitanga. Considered unity and solidarity, kotahitanga can be enacted through working together in a collaborative way on an agreed set of outcomes and values and principles. In the zero waste world, it's about making a shared submission against a proposal, or about agreeing as a community what you're going to be doing to minimise the amount of waste going to landfill. Whanaungatanga, about building relationships and working together and understanding where your common grounds and your shared connections are. Building whanaungatanga helps to strengthen communities. It's a way to inform and support resilience, and it's a way to understand where the common ground is to work through potentially challenging situations. Atawhai, it's about kindness, it's about caring. Empathy, understanding what someone else's challenges might be, you can then consider how you might support them to overcome that. About generosity, and if you're generous in giving of your time, of your knowledge and your understanding, that helps to build communities, it helps strengthen relationships, and it really sets the platform for wonderful collaborative working. Nō reira e te iwi, ka nui te mihi kia koutou katoa. Thank you all for tuning into this video. I hope you've found something informative. I hope you've gained an insight into some of the principles and values that we draw upon to inform our response to zero waste. And I also want to say a big thank you to the Zero Waste Network for your support of this video. Nā tō roro, nā tōku roro, ka ora ai te iwi. With your food basket and my food basket, there's wellness and abundance for everyone. Tēnā tātou katoa.